Good evening, beautiful people. As you probably heard, Kamala Harris just sat down with the BBC, and what was supposed to be a polished diplomatic interview quickly turned into a case study in political deflection. Now, the headline might sound simple, "I am not done." Harris says she may run for president again. But when you listen closely, question by question, what you actually hear is a politician trying to say everything and nothing at the same time. I didn't get a dang thing from her interview except that she needed more time for her campaign and that service is in her bones. So, possibly another presidential bid?
When are they going to see a woman in charge in the White House?
In their lifetime, for sure.
Could it be you?
Possibly.
Have you made a decision yet?
No, I have not.
Today, we're breaking down that interview because it is a perfect window into the Democratic strategy for 2025 and beyond. Avoid accountability, change the subject, and hope voters are too tired or too stupid to notice. Welcome to Nellie Miranda. As always, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. Okay, so when asked whether she would run for president again, Kamala didn't say yes or no. She said possibly. She said she haven't decided and ultimately settled on, "I am focusing on my book tour." And that is classic Kamala Harris, the word salad diplomacy. It's like she's permanently running for something, but terrified of accountability for the things that she's already done.
When are they going to see a woman in charge in the White House?
In their lifetime, for sure.
Could it be you?
Possibly.
Have you made a decision yet?
No, I have not.
What about running again as someone else's vice president, or maybe being part of another ticket? If Gavin Newsom, your fellow Californian, said, "Hey, come and be my Secretary of State," would you consider that?
Right now, I'm focused on my book tour. And I'm glad to know that you read it 3 times.
I did. I read it 3 times because it's...
But let's backtrack a little bit to the beginning of the interview when asked about whether she thought the Biden administration torpedoed her chances at winning the election. She said a bunch of nothing and did arrive at the conclusion that it was ultimately her fault. Watch.
As president, you say you'd underestimated the public's dislike of a frail 81-year-old running again. Do you feel that President Biden and his team torpedoed your chances of a fair chance at winning the election?
Well, as I've written, the buck stops with me in terms of my campaign. It always did, and I take full responsibility for what I did, and that's part of why I wrote the book.
She was also asked about all of the celebrity endorsements and if she failed to connect with working class people. You could hear the frustration when she said clearly there was more work to be done and that she didn't have enough time, as if she wasn't the vice president for 4 years.
You had a crazy number of celebrity endorsements. You had Oprah Winfrey turning out for you. You had Taylor Swift backing you. But there's little in the book about why you feel you didn't connect with ordinary voters, those people in the middle who could have gone either way. And indeed, during the campaign, Gen Z and Latinos in some numbers moved across to Trump. You stayed in your comfort zone, didn't you? That was the Democrats' problem.
I received 75 million votes from a variety of people.
But in the Electoral College, you were far outdone.
I'm not finished. I received 75 million votes from people around the nation of every stripe, whether it be geographic location, race, gender, and age.
But why didn't it connect with working people?
Well, it did connect with working people, but clearly there was more work to be done.
But why?
Because we needed more time to talk with more people, and we have to understand the context.
The most frustrating part about this entire interview is that Kamala Harris never gives a straight answer. She dances around even the simplest yes or no questions. To me, that shows a real lack of accountability. How can anyone with common sense support a candidate who refuses to be clear or direct about anything? It's like she expects people to vote for her blindly, just hoping that her vague promises will somehow work out in their favor. It's complete nonsense. But listen to her answer the question of, was Biden fit to run for office again? And you let me know in the comments what you gathered from her response.
Because there had been months of speculation around the world, here in the UK too, even in April, long before President Biden pulled out. We asked Nancy Pelosi what was going wrong. This was a huge subject of discussion. And you write that President Biden didn't raise his frailty with you, and you write that you didn't really raise it with him. That's extraordinary to read in your account.
Well, let's be more precise. There is a very serious difference between capacity to be president of the United States and the capacity to run for president of the United States. And so it is on that latter piece that I talk about in the book, about my concern about his ability with the level of endurance, energy that it requires, especially running against now the current president.
The total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
But let's be clear, my question was never about his capacity to be president.
Oh my heavens. She literally just said Joe Biden did not have the capacity to campaign for president, but had the capacity to be president of the United States for another 4 years. Do you all hear how stupid that sounds? It's like saying, I do not have the capacity or the endurance to sprint the 100-meter dash, but you can bet your ass that I'm going to kill it in the 400-meter race. It's mind-blowing. When the interviewer pushed back, Kamala doubled down on her response.
But isn't it a strange message to the public to say, you know what, you need to be tougher and more able to run a political campaign than actually to be the person behind the desk in the Oval Office, to be the person making decisions in the Situation Room? So did you just not think it was that bad, or did you feel you just couldn't raise it?
I was concerned about his ability to run for re-election, given what the campaign would require. And requires of any individual, regardless of their age.
Now, I'm not going to keep you guys all night with Kamala's shenanigans, but let's listen to one last clip of her interview where she said that she is focused on listening to the American people. I just do not understand why she wasn't listening when she was in office.
One of the reasons that I decided not to run for governor of California, I want to listen to people without it being transactional, without asking people for their vote, but listening to them. I think the American people have a lot to say right now.
But you've been very clear that it's a possibility you might run again to become president. And in my experience interviewing politicians, when someone says, I'm not done, it means they are thinking seriously about running. But when you look at the bookies' odds, they put you as an outsider, even behind Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I mean, is that underestimating you?
I think there are all kinds of polls that will tell you a variety of things. I've never listened to polls.
So your message to supporters at the end of the book was, we fought, if you fight, you win. You fought and you lost, but next time...
No, my message is, as you would have read in the last few chapters, was yes, I do believe that when you fight, you win, but sometimes the fight takes a while. That was my message. While I concede this election, I do not concede the fight that fueled this campaign.
Leadership isn't about smiling or giggling your way through tough questions. It's about delivering real results, giving honest, direct answers, and offering meaningful solutions that actually make sense. But instead, Kamala Harris did what she always does. She spun us in circles. No substance, no accountability, just carefully rehearsed talking points. And that's the problem. You cannot lead a country by dodging the truth. But maybe we're being too harsh on Kamala. So you let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you've gotten any value from this video, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. And tap the notification bell so you never miss an update. And if you missed my breakdown yesterday on Zohran Mamdani, the self-proclaimed socialist who is now pushing to reshape New York City's entire political landscape, I'll link that video above. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.